The environmental humans we know in the West give us an incomplete picture of their true character. This film shows people as they really are, before concealing themselves behind the green mask of environmentalism. This is the true face of the human, doing what they do, destroying nature. As long as there have been men on the earth, the struggle between man and the earth will be the historic rule. Man's struggle against the earth is part of life on this planet. One can be convinced that this struggle for life and death is a struggle of an infection to corrupt a healthy body. Just as the night rises against the day, the light and dark are in eternal conflict. So too is man the greatest enemy of the earth. The human is a biological creature, crafted by nature, which has hands, legs, eyes, even the semblance of a brain. Nevertheless, this terrible creature is only part natural. Although it has features similar to an animal, mankind is lower on the spiritual and moral scale than any animal. Inside this creature lies wild and unrestrained passions, an incessant need to destroy, filled with the most primitive desires, chaos, and cold-hearted villainy. A human, and nothing more. This is Mother Earth, Gaia. Science has shown us that once a year the Earth breathes in and out. Not simply a giant rock floating through space, the Earth is life itself. It is capable of being helped or hurt. Unfortunately, the Earth is being hurt in many horrible and irreversible ways. The planet has a fever started by a parasitical disease, humanity. Unlike in the past, we no longer see human civilization for its achievements and beauty. Our eyes have been opened by years of industrialism. The planet is behaving like an infected organism. The Earth has a cancer, and that cancer is man. Shown from space, the lights of civilization appear as an infection that is spreading. People don't have the equality and natural life cycle that nature does. Instead, the egoism of the individual is all that matters. Human morality, in contradiction to the natural world, views hedonism, the accumulation of objects, and exploitation of the earth as divine law. Their religions make exploitation of the environment a sacred command. In the first book of Moses, God commands man to take dominion of the earth. Their religions clearly separate between people and the natural world. They believe God created man in his image, giving people divine qualities. This establishes a relationship of dominance and exploitation against the laws of nature. The natural world establishes a balanced, circular relationship of life. No creature is more important than another. All are interdependent and in balance. This way, the natural world would continue indefinitely. But with mankind, it is doomed. People don't die, not before living beyond natural time and consuming outrageous amounts of the planet's resources. There is no balanced circular relationship with them. They know only one system, where man is on top and all arrows lead to him. But how did they get to this? The little human starts out hunting with a spear, killing a few animals and scavenging for berries. Soon they enslave other animals, breed them for slaughter, and use them to scar the earth. Not long after, they learn to build machines, to exploit the planet's other resources. Resources the earth has carefully hidden away are soon abused in ways never naturally intended. More advanced humans then build all sorts of grotesque, unnatural, and perverse machines to further hurt the environment. The most greedy and unscrupulous ultimately become American, consuming the planet's resources at an incalculable rate. Over the past few thousand years, while animals have remained natural, humans have morphed into a demonic creature, destroying anything green in its path, replacing it with concrete, plastic, and smoke. They always move to the most organic areas of the planet in search of natural resources. The many precious life forms of the planet have been reduced to mere commodities, objects to be bought, sold, consumed, and destroyed. Wherever the planet has resources, these parasites anchor themselves and feed on the death of nature. There is no difference between humans in Europe, Asia, or the natives of past time. Though separated by space and time, people are always a plague on the planet. Out of the Middle East and Africa, where they learned to exploit plants, they quickly spread, following the more natural herds of animals. Consuming everything in their path, they plundered their way across Asia and Europe, all the while developing better techniques of imposing themselves on nature. Once Eurasia was plundered, they crossed into Australia and the Americas. Here, the so-called natives drove most large animals into extinction. Further waves of humans came after, raping and pillaging even more. Against the spreading hordes of plunderers, the planet attempted to fight back. Its natural stabilizers attempted to restore balance in the world. In the Middle Ages, the bubonic stabilizer successfully reduced population levels by half in some places. Smallpox, starvation, and AIDS all did their part in making humans natural again and giving nature some living space. But nature's noble struggle against man proved fruitless. Uncontrolled, they multiplied by the billions. The raiders enslaved, exploited, and destroyed much of nature. This is a list of nature's living creatures eradicated by mankind, clearly proving humanity's capacity and drive to destroy. Another long list shows the life forms currently threatened, endangered, or in the process of being destroyed. Over 40,000 species threatened with biocide, geocide, and ecocide. It is said that 75% of all species would be threatened if humans succeeded in warming the planet. Most of nature threatened by one upstart species, a species that came very late in the calendar of time, yet dominates and destroys the earth. When confronted with their destructiveness, people simply alter their outward appearance. Their dark carbon footprints make mankind instantly recognizable. Should he hide them, only the sharp-eyed can spot him. Seldom are people found helping the planet, and when they are, they're simply pretending to be natural. These third-world environmentalists don't move so well in their green clothes. Somewhat more adept are the greens of the Western world. Their ancestors burnt coal, hunted whales, and lived in filth. But that is not outwardly noticeable. Here the greenwashing has reached its zenith. It isn't hard to see through their pretentiousness. Green Europeans, while outwardly living in peace with nature, harbor destructiveness behind their green masks. Within sight of their monuments of greenism, the annual whale slaughter. Hundreds of nature's mammals murdered, not for food, but fun. Once again, the true face of humanity, showing that mankind is always a ruthless parasite. Green and natural have become tools to sell products, win votes, and make money. The Great Kyoto Deception, a supposed example of humanity changing its evil ways. Yet even if the targets are met, a big if, Kyoto would result in little change. postponing global warming by 5 years. The Greens rush to climate conferences as though deeply concerned for the fate of the planet. They fly to Rio, then fly to Kyoto, then Copenhagen, then Cancun, then Durban, then fly to Rio again. The Third Worlders eagerly sign treaties that require nothing of them, while Westerners love the photo opportunities. On his way to destroying the planet, he pretends to be green. Man's inclination to destruction and deception has been well documented. The solution to this problem is less clear. As a species, man is too greedy to be controlled, too deceptive to be monitored. But the planet is in imminent danger. Without serious action, humanity will soon destroy the Earth. Decades have passed with warnings of imminent environmental collapse. But the half measures and soothing expedients have done nothing to save the planet. It is time to mark clearly the goal of environmentalism and the means to attain it. The goal is to cut out the cancer. A 95% reduction in population would be ideal. The means to this end. We cannot sit by and wait on bird flu or some killer virus to solve this problem. There is much experience in quickly culling the size of human populations. To prevent further overbreeding, childbearing should be a punishable crime. Nature should then be allowed to take its course with the remaining population. No more capitalist development, industrial technology, or medicines to prevent death. We must substitute less for more, control for freedom, and the inflexible justice of nature for the hedonism of man.